Hello, I'm Alexia Billiard, and we are Team Synergy. Along with my teammates Marina, Parissa, and Meg, this presentation will explore the condition of supportive context, in which Richard Hackman contends is one of the factors that leads to the increase of team success. Hackman says if a well designed work team is a seedling, then the organizational context is the soil in which it is planted, the milieu that provides the nutrients needed for it to grow and bear fruit. Having a supportive context within the organization is essential for a team to effectively work. Hackman identifies three organizational systems that are highly leveraged in providing this supportive context: the reward system, the information system, and the educational system. Furthermore, he explains that businesses should look to the material resources needed to carry out the work as an additional organizational support to ensure teams are effective. We will explore these organizational systems in greater detail.
Rewards must meet three conditions to be effective in driving success. They must be tied to the desired team outcome. Teams must have a clear understanding of the desired outcome to be rewarded, and there must be trusted methods of measuring and identifying them. And finally, teams must feel that they have the power to influence the outcome directly as a unit. The author describes the meeting of those conditions as the right line of sight. They link how the team performs to what they get. The longer this line of sight is, the less effective rewards can be. For example, profit-sharing programs in large corporations may seem fair and effective, but many smaller peripheral teams may feel that they have little or no direct influence on the outcome. It's well known that intrinsic motivators are more effective in individual performance, but that's rarely true of team performance. The author references a famous Stanford study where children were split into two groups. One group was promised a certificate for doing a coloring activity, and the other group was not. The group that was permitted to do the activity for its intrinsic reward spent more time coloring. He points out that this differs in team reward dynamics. When extrinsic rewards are given for completing a task, it's a demotivator. When a reward is given for completing a task well, however, it's an effective motivator. Some reward systems inadvertently put team members in direct competition with one another. It's important to design rewards that avoid this. A commonly seen evolution of many reward structures moves to recognize individual performance. The example in the book hinged on bonus budgets. The example company had a fixed pool of funds to pay employees, and managers were asked to decide how to spend it on individuals. When this happens, it can have negative effects. It refocuses people to think about how much each person is being paid and comparing it to themselves, rather than staying focused on outcomes. This in turn undermines relationships between team members. And it can do damage to team dynamics by encouraging precise, equitable workloads instead of remaining nimble for the task at hand.
So, why is information so important? We can all agree that information is an absolute necessity in whatever industry we work in today. The way we use it can either enhance teamwork or, on the contrary, reduce productivity and downgrade the successful outcome. Information is a tool. We can use it wisely to help us prepare and plan. It can be used as a valuable resource to forecast and create a strategy. For example, in a simple problem of how much to produce in order to optimize supply according to seasonal demand, data from previous years can help us find answers and skip the burden of trial and error process. Instead, we can focus on our purpose and direction. Therefore, the wise use of information gives us the materials to build the foundation of a satisfactory outcome and reduce significant risks. After all, information is knowledge. It is common knowledge that information is one of the most powerful resources today. Balancing the degree of information given can be a challenge. Giving too much can expose an organization into great risks and can overwhelm employees. How many times have you felt frustrated from the overload of information given? Personally, very often. Organizational sociologists Martin Haas research has found that large amount of information can expose the team to the so-called overload trap. This can be conditioned by the team's ability to autonomously plan its performance strategy. The weights of how much information the leader and the team members hold might be different, but the end result should produce a powerful, balanced system. If information is a powerful engine which is created by some to provide information for others to use, it might be wise to think how this design can be improved. Like most things in life, ideas might arise from a brilliant mind, but it is the input of multiple people and diverse ideas that make it successful and sustainable. Information is not an exception. If we work together to figure out the details of who, where, what, and how of the information engine, we will produce the balanced machine of collective wisdom.
Now to the third factor, educational systems. How to safeguard against team knowledge gaps. Teamwork commonly requires members to handle work-related issues for which their existing knowledge and skills may be insufficient. In those circumstances, teams should be able to utilize organizational educational resources to close any team knowledge gaps. In general, teams prefer to be able to have the expertise and knowledge to manage their problems embedded within the team. This can be accomplished by providing training or partnering with the needed resources. Providing training or technical consultation to work teams appear to be the more feasible option. Therefore, an organization should invest in training and educating teams or providing embedded partner resources. When team training is provided, it should be delivered to the entire team to allow expansion of the team knowledge pool and encourage the exchange of peer knowledge and expertise. An excellent example of team training is the crew resource management model. In this format, the team is provided a specific training within the team's work format. The training includes sharing theoretical background knowledge, clarifying team norms and responses. This allows to enhance situational awareness when the stakes are high. Another important component for team is the technical help, which is critical for the team's seamless workflow. The front staff support should be embedded in the team and is provided in a service-like attitude while being sensitive to their mission and schedule. Have you ever been referred to an educational website that has scarce information or an overwhelming amount of resources? Sounds familiar? A good amount of educational goods is critical in helping teams obtain such training or consultative support. For this to occur, two conditions must be met. First, the relevant resources must be identified, and groups in broader organization who can supply them must be located. Second, some sort of delivery system must be put in place to make those resources accessible in the right quantity and relevance to the team. The system in place should be readily available, and accessing the resources should not be viewed as a sign of failure or falling short of meeting the expectation. Team leader should teach member to overcome the self-imposed barrier to asking for help. This type of assistance should be carefully designed as it varies and is highly dependent on the team task and talent.
We will now look at how managing contextual supports can affect intergroup relations. In addition to a reward system, information system, and educational system, material resources is another organizational support that is also critical to managing an effective team. Material resources include equipment, money, staff time, and physical space, and can shape or constrain teamwork behavior. In order for teams to work efficiently, material resources must be sufficient and available. Hackman says resource availability can greatly smooth a team's path toward achieving its objectives, and resource inefficiency can be disastrous, even for a team that is otherwise well-directed, structured, and supported. Teams can be well-designed but can fail to execute their work due to a lack of resources. Problems such as resource scarcity or having an organizational system that fosters competition between groups or functions can often lead to intergroup conflict. Managers usually try to take steps to smooth out any issues between groups before they escalate. They may even remind everyone of the importance of working together to meet company goals and assist on improved communications between departments through meetings or formal corporate policies. Therefore, managers that possess keen interpersonal skills, persistence, and innovative ways to quell emerging intergroup tensions before they become huge conflicts will help in providing their teams with the contextual support they need to be successful. This concludes our presentation on Richard Hackman's Leading Teams Chapter 5. On behalf of Team Synergy, we want to thank you for listening.